Kiwi
We're
live.
live.
Oh my God.
Hey guys,
How did that happen so fast?
Greasy Garage, first in the door.
What's happening, brother man? How are you? So,
Andrew Button.
greetings,
Yeah.
Andrew. Where's Tavo? Isn't Tavo usually the first one in here?
Tavo's
I'm worried about him. Do you have a number for Tavo? We can contact him. Chongo 68. He's my favorite name. Mitten Made Muscle. Fubar. It's Fubar the Axe.
Fubar, welcome
Yes.
along.
So if you guys, there's barely anybody here now, but people watching on the replay. So next Sunday night, the Sunday night weekend of Thanksgiving, we're having a really unique thing. We're gonna get together with our mods who've been with us like since forever, right? Fubar, Ari, and Zero, and Kiwi, and we're all gonna get together on that Sunday night. It'll be Sunday night, 7 o'clock, our usual time for Sunday Night Live. But we'll have all of the guys together for the first time, and it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Why do I look so friggin' shabby? Damn it! I need to get a haircut and shave and maybe get a job.
Yes, that would involve work.
Well, that's the problem with it. Because if I wanted to work, I'd get a job. Instead, I just do YouTube. So, okay, I'm Bill McKeisker, Dickie Farley, Stray Bullet, Nick Bruni.
Hey man.
Frank Emerald, Charlie. What's happening, Charlie?
Cheers, Tavo.
Jason Baker, Zuji, 72, Tavo. There you are, brother man. Strato, Murder Nova. Dickie Farley. Do you get confused with Murder Nova? Do people ask you, hey, are you really Murder Nova? Luke Steinman. So okay. I have to cover this. So I have a friend, Shane Polito, right? Has a channel called Slant Daily, right? Slant Daily Garage. Shane. He's an engineer over at TCI. Great guy. So he has been doing Wednesday night tech live. So originally I used to do the Wednesday night live tech show with Dallas.
Right.
And Dallas got involved with other things. And then he and Shane teamed up and started doing a Wednesday night tech talk.
Right.
Well, then we moved our Thursday night tech talk to Wednesday.
Right.
And
so it's a pretty busy night.
Well, the problem is now the piss stains that make up the peanut gallery have been doing this thing.
Don't sugarcoat it, Danny. All right.
Well, I'm not sugarcoating. I'm talking about the piss stains that make up the peanut gallery have tried to create trouble between friends. So, for the record, Shane is a friend of mine. We do this consensually, and not for nothing, but the average view duration on one of these lives is about 22 minutes. People pop in, they stay for about 22 minutes, and then they drift off. They go to other things, right? They go for ice cream.
As you would.
Oh, yeah, see, they're doing something. So after you've had your 22 minutes here or thereabouts, go over to Shane's live. Go hang out there for a little while. Make sure you tell him that we said hello and that we sent you. And then after you've done that, come back over here and tell us things that they said. Right? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yes, we're all great friends. Well, not all of us.
Well,
some we kind of get along. But Shane and I are friends. He was here just the other day.
Ted Richardson, hi from Maine, Massachusetts. All over the map.
Zuki goes for a beer after
Even from England?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure people do all kinds of stuff. They go to put on their wife's clothes and they go shoot up. I mean, there's people leave these lives and do all kinds of crazy things.
Well, yeah, see, Tavo's here for 2 hours. He's a stayer.
The full 2 hours. Well, Tavo can go over to Slant Daily and say hello to Shane.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and then come back and tell him how much better our live is.
How many peanuts are in the peanut gallery? That's a good question.
There's Shane. Who's Shane? Shane Polito. And his channel is called Slant Daily, and he's currently right this very instant live. What were we just talking about? Yes.
You were talking about these other lives going on.
Yes. There are other lives going on. How's the hole in your head?
It's healing, but it's a slow process. It was quite a big hole.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be out next Wednesday and the Wednesday after. I'm going to be out.
Oh, where are you going?
Surgery.
Surgery?
Yeah.
Again?
Well.
Dude, they might as well put zippers on you.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
No, what kind of surgery you have?
Oh my God, I've gone blank.
You need surgery.
Yeah, I got to get some. Oh my god, I've gone blank. I've forgotten what I've got. I hate it when that happens.
Well,
It's all happens when
you
you get
should
old.
know. You should be aware. You can't just
Now,
you can't just
the
like have
pressure's
the
on.
doctor
I've got to
say
remember it.
you need surgery and like not tell you what it's
Not
for.
brain surgery. They would have gone in there if they were doing that. Thyroid. Thyroid.
Thyroid.
Surgery.
What's
Yeah.
about your thyroid?
It's got a growth on it. I've got
Oh.
a thing that they needs to be gone.
That's normal for you Kiwis.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, next
All right. So the next 2 weeks you're not going to be here.
well, next. Oh, hang on, no. Well, next Wednesday I'm going to be out of town.
Okay.
All right.
And then the
And
Wednesday
then
after.
the following after that, I'm having surgery on the Monday.
Okay.
So that's going to be 2 Wednesdays I'm out. I'm afraid, guys.
All right. Well,
So
I'm going to substitute him. So you don't mind if I have somebody else come in?
no,
No, they won't literally.
as long
come
as they're
in.
not prettier than me, it'll be all right.
That's going to be pretty. Yes, Kiwi's transitioning. No, not yet.
He's too nice. Well, hopefully I'm only going to have one night on the Monday night, but yeah, other than that.
Yeah, send all your good thoughts to Kiwi. You know, he's going to, well, he isn't really. He's healthy as a pig and shit. He's just got these little things going with him.
Yeah, it's just been a stupid year.
Yeah.
Kiwi surgery live, no, you don't want to do
Oh,
that.
that would be great.
Oh,
Can we do that?
no, I don't think so. No, I don't. I think there'd be a copyright infringements or something.
Copyright.
I fucking know.
You find out. Ask your doctor if we could do a live.
No, I don't think that.
It doesn't sound like a very involved surgery. It's
Well, yeah, when they're going in here, they cut about that kind of here and go in there and pull it out and trim it up and put it back in. And,
dude, you got some bitchin' scars.
oh well, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
chicks love that.
say I got it in a knife fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Uh,
He identifies as a Mustang. Yeah, there could be some truth to that. Jeff Hutchins, he's going to replace me. Yeah, you might be right too. Who you going to bring in? Who's your guest speaker for next week then?
it's going to be a surprise.
A surprise.
Yes.
That means he hasn't.
It's going to be a
thought of it yet.
surprise because I haven't really nailed it down yet. But the
Well, you
person,
did only just find out about
well, the
it.
person I have in mind is a very well-known figure in the world of no prep and outlaw street race
No, okay.
type of thing.
All
Right,
right.
but I'm not going to say his name.
Okay.
But he's a friend of ours. So, but possibly. I got to actually nail it down. Okay, somebody just asked an actual tech question because when Fubar put a link to Kiwi's channel, subscribe to him while he's still here. This is important. Not that there's anything fatal or you know what I mean, but subscribe to him now.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Your Kiwi is copyrighted.
Yeah. I thought it would.
Okay, I'm gonna die from an ingrown toenail. That's how allergic I am to all of this stuff. I once checked myself out of a hospital with a shattered tibia because they wanted to give me a needle. I was like, just no.
No needles?
No needles.
No needles.
I don't do needles.
Tony doing the surgery. Good enough, send it. Close
That's
them
no
up.
lie. That's the guy's on the truth. You can ask Kathy. She's probably watching this now saying, this asshole, how does he get through life? But so somebody just had an actual tech question.
Oh, where'd that
Right?
go?
8 minutes and 8 seconds in, we finally get to a tech question. Ninja Mouse, is side gapping your spark plugs only for racing or good for a daily driver? Do it on your daily driver.
Side gapping?
Yeah.
I'm not even familiar with that.
Side gapping is accomplished one of two ways. Okay. The simplistic way is to just bend the electrode or the ground strap over so that the spark has to jump diagonally instead of the spark being captured between the electrode and the ground strap.
Right.
It has to jump diagonally, so it exposes the spark. The other way is to trim the ground strap back, so that if you're looking straight at the spark plug, you see a shortened ground strap, and you'll be looking straight up at the electrode.
Right.
And again, the idea is to get the spark to actually be out in the open.
So it's not shrouded. Right.
So that is a good thing for racing, providing your tune is good. Because if you're even a little bit fat anywhere, it'll dirty the plugs. But it's not good for a street car, because street cars will dirty the plugs. What happens is that the electrode or the ground strap acts kind of like an umbrella to keep the wetter particles away from the ceramic, which is where you don't want them. Because the spark plugs short out when the gas gets between the ground strap and the electrode. So, or the ground, did I say that? No. Spark plugs foul out when the fuel gets between the center electrode and the ceramic that surrounds it. So that ground strap covering over the top of it like that kind of acts as a shield and keeps direct liquid from hitting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well explained. Well done. Well done, you. Oh.
Can we done? Are we done now?
Yeah, don't think so. Gotta hit the blue button. Come on, you're not keeping up with the blue button, Tony.
Yeah, bro, the blue button is on your side.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
The wetter particles. Well, I think he meant dropless, but yeah, you get the idea.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
John M is indexing the plugs worth it.
No. Generally speaking, no. There are exceptions when okay, so on an engine where the spark plug, like for instance on a Hemi, which is very difficult to index a spark plug with, but there are certain situations where you can shield the spark plug, or it's the same exact principle as side gapping. The what?
No, I wasn't laughing at you. I was reading the comments.
There is some.
Oh, I completely tuned out, and I wasn't even listening to you. I was reading the comments.
There are some circumstances where, by indexing the plug, you can shield the electrode from, let's say during the overlap period. But honestly, it generally, like if you take an engine and you run it straight out, if you don't have any issues and you just index the plugs, you'll see no performance improvement.
I'd go along with that. Yeah, I've tried that indexing plugs back in some racing days, and it just made it a lot of work, and really the results didn't come. So, Ali Awed, are you two sugar daddies? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely not a sugar daddy.
I got some cash.
Yeah, Mrs. Kiwi got more cash than me, so
Oh.
that rules me out as a sugar daddy.
She's a sugar mama.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Uncle Tony, is it possible points on an XR 1200? That I don't know.
Yes, you would have to change the cam cover. Yes, you would need the cam cover and all of the points parts from a 1978. When did they go to electronics? 79 they went to electronics. So you need the side cover, the breaker plate, and the piece that bolts to the end of the crankshaft from a 1978 iron head, and it should all bolt up. It should all bolt up because there were no real changes to the crankcase when they went from the there are minor changes, but when they went from the iron head to the Evo, that architecture stayed the same. So the cam cover should be interchangeable.
Yeah, so Ford 302, it will idle indefinitely, but if you rev it to 3K and then let it return to idle, it will die.
Ford 302 will idle indefinitely.
So it's quite happy idling unless you rev it, and then when it returns to idle speed, it dies.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's probably a mixture thing.
Yeah, that it's fat, like in the transition. Transitions.
I'm thinking your actual idle mixtures might be out.
Yeah, but why would it be okay to idle for indefinitely, but then you bring it to 3,000 and let it come back down, it dies. There's not enough information.
Yeah, a few things it could be.
Not enough information to really.
Ignition timing could be doing that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait a second. Didn't you have something similar to that with that? We did a video on it, bro.
Oh, that Petronics distributor.
The Petronics distributor.
Yeah, as you revved it up, it would cut out. As the vacuum advance kicked in,
yeah,
it was breaking the wire.
Right.
Yeah. So as you revved it up, it would die, and then it would slow down because it had cut the power, so it would slow down.
But is he revving it to 3,000 and it's dying, and then he's letting go of the throttle?
Sounds like it's dying. Sounds like it's dying when it returns. Then let it return to idle, it will die. That sounds kind of like the opposite of that issue, but yeah. Luke Tierman, Kiwi, did you go to school to learn auto body repair and restoration? No, it was all learned on the job. All learned on the job.
One job. He learned all of his skills. One job.
I mean, it was back in the days of apprenticeships, and that was just regular auto body repair, not restoration wasn't really a thing in New Zealand at that point. But yeah, it's just on the job. Learn it as you go. Figure it out. What you don't know how, you just get in there and you do it and you figure it out. Yeah.
Jeff Hutchins, what do you guys think about gear drives? The noise doesn't bother me. We're curious about longevity. Can you crack at that?
Longevity. So, gear drives have been like I presume you're talking about timing sets, right? Yeah. I mean, it's not direct drive is not that uncommon in the mass production market.
Right, but what do they all have in common?
Yes.
Composite cam gears.
Composite gears, yeah. So they're not too noisy. Yeah.
No, it's not even noise. It's the harmonics.
Oh, the harmonics.
It's the transfer of the harmonics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it just softens the.
Yeah. So they use straight cut gear. The reason why hot rod gear drives make noise is because you use straight cut gears in there. Right. They don't use it. Well, it's not truly straight cut, but it's not the same angle. It's not the same helical cut that they use, let's say, on the Chevy inline six.
Right.
Or the Ford.
Yeah.
The Ford uses that also.
Yeah, the old Ford V6s had that. The English Ford V6s had a direct, and that was a big fiber gear. It wasn't even covered. The whole gear was fiber. It was like massive.
Right. So that's the problem with using a race type gear drive on the street, because if you forget about the noise, the harmonics. See all of the valve train harmonics, and the valve train is just crazy. Okay, as far as like let's say lower RPM, like 2,000-3,000 RPM. There's lots of craziness happening with the cam wanting to do like this, right? So those harmonics are transferred to the crank, and they shorten the crank's life. So when the manufacturers used gear drives, they used composite gears. They use like the one he's talking about, like that fiber gear, right? They use all different things, but they never use a steel to steel gear in that situation. Steel to steel is for racing. It's for limited use, right? It's not intended to go 10,000 miles, 50,000 miles, that sort of thing, because over that period of time, you will work harden the parts. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, longevity is not a good thing.
Yeah, and that's why the manufacturers whenever they use they eliminate the timing chain. That's why belt drives, like in super stock engines, when I was playing with this stuff, there was a super stock engines that were starting to use belt drives, and the whole purpose of the belt drive, because they had been running gear drives, but the belt drive gave more horsepower because there was less harmonics and especially on the Hemis, there was actually a big power gain to be made with 426 Hemi, going from a gear drive to a belt drive, and it was all related directly to the harmonics and how the belt didn't transfer the harmonics to the rest of the drivetrain. There's a lot of crazy shit that goes on inside of an engine.
Now, I missed a question there somewhere. Someone was asking what body glue that I use for fender extensions.
Gorilla Glue. Yeah?
No.
Double-sided tape.
Don't usually glue them on, but I'm not. Yeah. What? Can you give me the car you're talking about? Like what fender extension are you referring to? Like the fender extensions on a Mustang or a lot of the Fords? Is that what you're referring to? Because they shouldn't really be glued on. But so don't quite follow the question, but if you want to give me a bit more info, we'll try and answer it. Zero, thanks for plugging me, buddy. Appreciate that.
Glenn, Glenn is saying they'll use a fiber to quiet it down. No, you see, the more helical cut to a gear, the quieter it is, right? So if you look at like a factory like a Chevy or a Ford inline six gear, there's a deep helical cut to those things, and part of that is, forget about the noise part of it. It's to keep the camshaft located. So when you get to a race gear drive, the deep helical cut takes horsepower. So there's less of a helical cut, and in some situations, no helical cut. Like for instance, if you look at like the gear drives I'm familiar with for 426 Hemi, those are just completely straight cut gears. So they make crazy noise. The more you put the helical cut in there, the less noise they make. Just like a ring and pinion. Ring and pinion doesn't make noise because it's such a deep helical cut. But if those gears were straight, they'd sing like Kiwi in the shower.
I've had straight cut gears in a race transmission, and they're noisy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're noisy.
Yeah. Well, you ever hear a quick change going on the road?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah, they actually make a pretty sweet sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Charlotte Collins talking about GM M22 rock crushers. They made their famous wine from their super strong straight cut gear sets.
Yeah.
They had those rock crushers had straight cut gears in them. Or was that a factory thing?
I'm not sure of the gear cut on those or the angle.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, all of the manual transmissions, come to think of it, right? The gear sets are all straight cut, right?
No.
Well, I should know this. I've been through 1,000 friggin'.
They usually all the gears are helical cut. The synchro hubs are straight.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah. Tony's having a little. Tony's having a little brain fart.
Yep.
You thinking about the synchro hubs being straight?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right. I couldn't even remember what was wrong with me earlier. So like we're all entitled to at least one brain fart per live stream.
Franco says M22s have straight cut gears, and if Franco says it, good enough for me.
Yeah.
Franco could tell me they were made out of peanut butter, and I'm like, yes.
Yes, reverse gears are typically straight cut. It's true. Darth Wriggle. What's a good manual Dodge tranny for a mild 318?
Doing a two-wheel drive swap on the car. A good manual tranny? I mean, if you can find, it depends what you're looking for. 833 overdrive transmissions are pretty cheap. But you can get a T5. I mean, the junkyards are full of T5s.
Yeah.
And that bolts right up to that 318. Beaumont resident. Kiwi, Uncle Tony. I'm rebuilding a 1964 283, looking to modernize the power pack heads. If expense isn't in the issue, what would be the dream update modifications for the power pack heads? Not familiar enough with them. I'm not familiar enough with them. If they're typical of the Chevy head of that era, they all need bulwark. The Chevy heads of that era were about as. That's the only thing I could think of. Just a lot of clean bulwark and get the exhaust port as high as you can.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you agree?
Yep,
Okay.
I do.
All right.
Yeah. I'd probably just put aluminum heads on it with me. Like it's a good, you say expense wasn't part of it, wasn't a factor.
Yeah.
I'd put some, some good quality aluminum heads on it with a smaller, port as you can. The port CCs need to be, 283 is not a big engine, so you want a fairly small port, just to keep your airspeed up. Yeah.
Randy Trevor, what carb should I use? A Quadrajet or Rochester 2G tri-power for a K20 Suburban that goes off-roading? If you're going off-roading, man, that tri-power is just 3 fuel
problems.
leaks. It's bad,
Triple
man.
your problems.
They don't take angles. They're not intended to operate any sort of angles. So you'd have to drop the floats so low to keep on. Actually, I've got one of those carburetors over there someplace. It's in a pile. You'd have to drop the floats so low that you'd be running out of fuel going up a hill. The Quadrajet, hands down, no debate. Is that the
That's
boss?
Mrs. Kiwi, yeah. She's just saying hi.
Oh. Hi, Maury. How are you?
Hey. What else we got? End of time. Another 1,000 horsepower car story.
How come she didn't
Where
text
did it
me?
go? Probably doesn't know your number.
Oh, why don't you give it to her?
Anyway, Tech Talk. Another 1,000 horsepower plus car story. This guy drove around the block and realized the power was too much for his new braking system. I got everything on the cheap. I love Marketplace.
Well, I mean, there is no correlation between horsepower and brakes. Sounds crazy, right?
It's about how sparse you're going.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You could get in exactly as much trouble with 94 horsepower as you can with 10,000. It just depends on velocity. So if you're stupid enough to drive it, beyond its, think about it. Shut the engine off where there's no power. Your braking has nothing to do with whether the engine is even running or not.
Yeah. It's
So-
just how quickly you get into trouble.
Right. Yeah, he just wasn't ready for the shock.
Yeah. But good on you for getting a bargain. That's awesome. Someone asked Tony if he puts shrouds on his radiator. Tony, do you put shrouds on your radiator?
I do not.
You do not.
I take them off.
Take them off.
Yes, I hate shrouds. I hate fan shrouds.
Why do you hate fan shrouds?
I hate anything that inhibits me from working on the car.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I like to have well, no, the exception with the Jeeps. You need them on the Jeeps. The Jeeps run hot.
Right.
The Jeeps run hot.
Right.
But no, I if it's in my way, so when I set up a car for myself, I am so anal retentive about being able to access every single part without removing or disturbing any other part. Like I go to lengths running wires and shit like that, so that like you can take the valve covers off and not move a wire and not moving. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm the same way with the front of the engine. I would rather have the car overheat. I would rather only be able to drive the car, let's say 800 feet before it overheats, and I have to refill the radiator and do all of that, than have to like reach around things. But this is my own cars, and it's my own phobia. So I'm not saying that this is the right way to do things. I'm not saying this is the way I do things because I'm a sick, damaged person, and I know this. I know this.
Well, there you go, Roy. You asked and you found out.
My parents were right. I'm nuts. Okay, you know.
Darth Wriggle. Tony's too fast for shrouds.
No, Zero. I'm not going to accept the shroud. No.
What's Zero saying? While working for Classic Industries, had one customer tell me his newly restored Camaro was too fast and scared him. I appreciate the honesty. I've had a couple of customers like that were just a little scared of it.
I'll tell you a car that caught me by surprise. Actually, well, I don't want to say it scared me. It scared me. Years and years ago, this is about 30 years ago, I used to hang out over at PG Machine in Brooklyn, Scotty Guadagno's place. So Scotty's down in Florida now. He runs Pomade cars. And but anyway, I was hanging out at his place, and he had this kid, Tommy, that worked for him. Big, tall guy, really nice guy. And he built a Dart, and he put an 871 or a 671 on a 440. And he came by my house, and this is back when I had the fuel cars, so it was all in nitro land at the time, right? So he swings by my house to show me the car, right? And he says, "Take it for a ride." And I'm like, "Okay," you know what I mean? I didn't think anything of it. So I get in this thing. Now the difference between most like blown street cars, so like typically blown street car guy takes a stock 350 or whatever it is and puts a little blower on it, and it's like, you know, it's 14% underdrive. Well, no, this thing was a full house 440, and the blower was like spun up, and it had big giant carburetors on it, and it was tuned right. So I remember going around my block, and I'm like, I tapped it as I got to the corner. It was on Colin Avenue. Why do I remember this, right? So I turned the corner, I tapped it, and it goes, "Woof!" And I was like, "Oh, that's bitching," right? So I says, "More." So I laid into it. Wah! And the next thing I know, I am completely sideways staring at cars, and I couldn't pull my foot out of this thing fast enough. It was right there.
All right.
And the car straightened out, and Tommy was in the passenger seat, right? And I looked at him, and he was like, "Wow, you can really handle these things." I'm like, "No, I can't." That was pure freaking luck.
Good luck, not good management. Right. Tavo saying, "Do you realize you handled a part for a Hemi 6 earlier today?"
No, it's actually for an AMC V8. The first application for that would have been for an AMC V8 from 1964 or thereabouts. And then the Typhoon 6, the Hemi 6 didn't come around until 1970. So that lifter was already in use, in service, long before the Hemi 6.
Barry Cooter, I've been using two-stroke oil in the fuel to protect the unhardened valve seat. Is this actually going to have any benefit?
I've never heard of that.
No, it's the lead that protects the valve seats. So is two-stroke oil high in lead? I don't think it is it?
I don't know, but maybe it has a different element that. You know what?
I don't know.
You keep that going, and I'm gonna Google this because that's a new one. I have to look into that. Okay. Okay.
David Morgan. Is the power loss on a mechanical water pump versus running electric water pump and electric fans, is the load loss on an alternator worth it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm honest. I'd have to say no. I don't think it is. Electric fans, sure. Electric water pump, it's just another thing to go wrong. And if that stops, which I had on a car fairly recently, the water pump just decided it was pretty old. It was like a 20-year-old electric water pump, and it decided to stop pumping, and the car got very hot very fast. But I mean, I think if you could run it on a dyno, and to measure the power difference, there would be a difference, I'm sure. But can you feel it through your butt when you're driving? No.
Probably not. That's one of those things where the juice may not be worth the squeeze. If I remember correctly, it's driven at the factory ratios, and the ratios are a little bit different, like the
Pulley
pulley
sizes.
pulley diameters, because the smaller the bottom pulley, the slower
Everything goes.
But with stock, so at peak power, it was 7 horsepower. The water pump drew 7 horsepower on a 440. Now I don't remember, and that was with all the factory pulleys, like a factory engine, and whatever peak RPM it was. But I remember that it was 7 horsepower. It was a 7 horsepower draw.
Right.
So it's going to be in that ballpark.
You might notice it on your times on the strip, on the time card, but I don't believe you'd feel it through the seat of your pants. You just do a run through the gears and go, wow, this is faster.
No, probably not. But it's one of those things where it's an incremental improvement.
True, you can get 7 horsepower here and 7 horsepower there. Suddenly you've got 40 horsepower, and that you will notice. But gearing the water. If you're going to do a lot of higher RPMs, gearing the water, the pumps down, or all your accessories, slowing it down with a smaller bottom pulley, will give you benefits as well.
All right, so real quick, while he was answering that one, I Googled using 2-stroke oil as a lead substitute, and it's not used as a lead substitute. From what I could tell from a quick search, it's used as a top cylinder lubricant. So top cylinder lubricant would include valve guides. So yeah, okay, so there might be some benefit there, right? But minute and probably not worth it. I guess it would be do the same thing as like Marvel Mystery Oil.
Yeah, but you're going to need lead to protect the lack of valve seats. Anyway, what do we got?
You pick one, man. You pick one.
Okay.
And I'm going to answer it wrong so that you can answer it right and be the hero on this one.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I've heard of a mechanical oil pump that can drop as 30 horsepower from a small block Chevy at 4,000 on. Like save 30 horsepower. Not quite sure what he's meaning there. Jeff Hutchins, I like an electric water pump and fans on a toy non-daily driver because you can run them with the engine shut down to cool it off. Actually, that's a good point, Jeff. You can, and I've done that before. Yeah, you just keep the water flowing around the block.
He's right.
But yeah, as you say, put in brackets there, non-daily driver, not something you do for a daily driver. But if you want to run down the strip, get that engine cool.
All right, let's go back to Darth Regal for a second.
Yep.
The mechanical oil pump can drop 30 horsepower from a small block Chevy at 4,000 on. Okay, that seems like it's excessive, but you have to take other things into consideration. The type of oil, engine clearances,
and the pump.
And the pump. Like what is the pump? So is it a high volume, high pressure pump? Pushing a 50 weight through an engine with very stock clearances. Tight clearances, it really could be 30 horsepower. But I would think that 30 horsepower would be the absolute extreme worst case parasitic loss situation.
Das also added, mechanical oil pump versus a dry sump.
Oh, no, well, dry sumps take power too to turn.
Yeah, well, there's 2 pumps.
Yeah, Yeah, you get the suction side and the pressure side.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they came up with dry sumps for a performance boost. They do it for reliability.
Yeah. Um, so in certain engines, okay, the dry sump is a problem, and I know this firsthand. Okay, like this isn't something I speculated or anything like that. But back around 1997, 1996, 1997, the NHRA mandated that all of the big show cars went to a dry sump oiling system. And they were doing this because they figured, well, if you got a separate oil tank, when these things grenade themselves, there'd be less oil on the track. So that transition from a wet sump pan to a dry sump pan caused huge carnage and put a lot of smaller racers out of business because you would literally, so typically, like you could get 6 to 10 runs out of a crankshaft before you really had to start looking at it. You could get the same number of runs, let's say ballpark, same number of runs out of a set of rods before you would start to really have to look at them and question them. But that transition from the wet sump to the dry sump caused all sorts of internal havoc on these engines, and connecting rods started shattering. They actually had to change the composition of the connecting rod because of the harmonics that were involved in that dry sump system. And the reason for this is because you used to, with the wet sump top fuel motor, you literally put a case of oil in the crank, in the pan.
Mm-hmm.
The pan is only this deep. You put a case of oil in there, and the crank is literally submerged in oil.
Really?
Yes. Like so I was talking about a funny car pan. You put in a case on a funny car pan. A funny car pan is this deep.
Mm-hmm.
The crank is literally submerged in oil when it's just sitting there. Now, when you hit it, all that oil goes and stands up against the back of the block.
Right.
So it gets wrapped up in the back 3 or 4 cylinders. And now you're churning this giant cloud of 90 weight, basically gear loop, 70 weight gear loop. And that was a harmonic damper. That was a harmonic damper. It was a big, giant, liquid harmonic damper. So now when you took that damper away, all of a sudden, all of the harmonics in the engine were just free to like do whatever they were going to do, and it killed the parts. And it put countless little guys out of nitro racing. Could not go any further because literally 1 run, 2 runs, and this thing is just all over the track.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was trying to figure out how that would be a good thing, but then the harmonic balancer effectively, that actually, I can kind of see that. That makes
you're taking like a whole case of oil, right? 12 quarts of oil, and you're wrapping it around the crankshaft in that confined space at the back of the block.
That's wild. I never thought of that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Put a lot of little guy nitro racers out of business. Put a lot of the guys that I would have been potentially working for at the time, because I would bounce from car to car. Done. Can't go anymore. Done. We use up all of our parts, all our money.
Wow.
Let's go play golf.
Very good. Aircost 60. Cheers, man.
Oh, love and kisses.
What? Where?
Yeah.
Torrance, California.
60. Yes. Thank you. In a completely non-homo way. And speaking of non-homo things, if you're getting tired of us over here and our shenanigans, drop in on Shane Polito over at Slant Daily, who is doing a tech live right now. And if you go over there, tell him that Kiwi and Tony sent you, and then hang out there and cause trouble or something. Troll them. Just go over there and troll them, and then come back.
Charlotte Zimmerman, did Kiwi ever knurl valve guides? No, never done that. Won't that stop oil burning into the piston chamber?
Okay, what was that?
The knurling the valve guides. Won't that stop oil burning into the piston chamber?
No. All it does is just gives the valve a nice fresh surface, the stem, to run on.
So what do? They knurled the stem itself, or
the guide.
Internally in the guide. Okay. No, that's a new one on me.
So Franco, I didn't even realize Franco was there. Franco, did I nail it with the dry something? Did you experience the same deal? For you guys who don't know, Franco is an old nitro guy. Well, he's old, yeah, he's really old, but he's an old school nitro guy from back in the day.
David Morgan, are you going to cover any mechanical injection setups in-house for enjoyment purposes?
What was that now? Are you going to cover any mechanical injection setups? If I come across. Mechanical injection for gasoline on the street is really tricky. Really tricky. That's why you don't see it. And the problem, they idle good. You can get them idle good. They make incredible power. But that transition, from idle to like mechanical fuel injection, port style injection, right? Wants to just idle or wide open. You have like certain systems like the Chevy one, the Rochester fuel injection.
Oh, from the 50s?
Yeah. Yeah, those work. But the kind of mechanical fuel injection he's talking about is
But
different.
they were removed a lot, weren't they, back in on those 50 Chevys? People took them off because of reliability issues.
So the problem with those, right, was they had a diaphragm. Okay, they had a diaphragm that regulated the mixture.
Right.
Okay, the diaphragm was exposed to underhood atmosphere. At speed, the pressure would be so high under the hood from air coming in through the grill and piling up against the firewall that it would cause them to go full fat.
Oh.
It would compress the diaphragm, or it would move the diaphragm, and the cars would go fat. And that's why you never saw the Rochester fuel injection on race cars, because they were pressure sensitive, and at underhood pressures at high speed didn't work.
Yeah, the English played around with it on their Triumphs. They made a 2.5 litre 6-cylinder with mechanical injection, and they were notoriously unreliable.
Franco saying we use 24-hour cranks from the old guy at Storm.
Glenn Nickerson, cover your sump before you pump. Okay.
Stingray blew something up after 2 runs. Chris Sherman said, didn't the older BMWs have mechanical fuel injection? Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. You're right.
And it was very similar to the same function. Actually, it might have even been a Rochester unit, a reworked Rochester unit.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Oh man, here's for you. Marto Media. Hey, gents, meaning you. What's your thoughts on the Aussie Ford Barra Turbo 6?
Fantastic engine. Fantastic engine. They turboed them at the factory. It was an option to get the Turbo 6, and they're kind of one of the best kept secrets. Everyone's like just oohing and ahhing over the 2JZ, the Toyota. It's been the big straight 6 high horsepower, but that Barra's got everything that the Toyota engine's got. What they're doing with them over in Aussie is just phenomenal. If you'd have to search for it, but I remember watching a video of a rail, not a top fuel car, but like a rail type chassis car, with the 6-cylinder in it, and it was pulling like 10.5. It just sounded phenomenal. The pitch sounded absolutely fantastic, and it was just breaking records left and right. They are a brilliant engine.
Okay, the Bosch K-Tronic is actually the Bendix system that Chrysler used in 1958.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good grief.
Yes.
The ME-109 had Bosch fuel injection. ME-109, was that a Messerschmitt? It's a plane, I think. Is it the I can't get it out.
Messerschmitt.
Yeah. The Barra is such an amazing engine. The green top taxi version is the best. Mike Berger. I worked on old Mercedes gas engine. They had an injection pump like a diesel. It was wild. Yep, that's a mechanical injection system.
Yeah, well, okay, that's not. I remember that system vaguely. The J-Tronic, the Bosch, that's different. That's a different setup. There's someplace in the back of my memory. There's something to do with that pump that you're talking about.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, the ME is the malicious. Everyone's talking about that.
Okay, Bobby Z. No, the Bendix system became the Bosch L Jetronic, the electric one. The K was mechanical. Okay, well then I stand corrected because you obviously know more about it than I do.
Roy Ferntop, Australia has a special relationship with six-cylinder engines. That's true. They couldn't afford to. Everyone couldn't afford to drive V8s. Like America has a love affair with the V8. The Aussies had a love affair with the six-cylinder because that was a little bit middle ground. Dr. Art's in the house.
It is Dr. Art. What's happening,
I
Dr.
heard a little
Art?
bit of trash talk about challenging you for a race on something. And
yes, he's got the electric drag cart. Evidently, there are some issues that he's got to work out with it.
What? It's electric?
It's slow.
It's slow.
It's slow.
It can't be as slow as his last one.
Well, nothing could be as slow as this.
Well, it could be, but it'll be going backwards.
You're right.
Mm.
The last one you could time with the erosion of rocks. It was bad. This one I think is a little quicker. He's having issues.
He's actually not exaggerating that much. A little bit, but not that much. You still with us, Dr. Art?
No, he's like screw
He's
these
gone and
guys.
shot himself.
So speaking of lives, Dr. Art does a Monday night live on his channel, Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab. So, but he's working on getting the drag cart ready to face my little scooter of death over there. So whenever he's ready. They set a sundial record. Dr.
That's good.
Dr. Art, there you go. Let's go for this sundial go-kart record.
Entry button. Put a 318 in the go-kart. Even with a 2-barrel, it would be cool. Well, that's true. When is the big race with Doc? Soon, sometime soon.
As soon as he's got it squared away.
No, Dr. Art will take you in a downhill race.
Well, I was just going to say we may have to race off of a cliff. Which I'll do anything for a win. So yeah. I mean, if we got to go off a cliff, we go off a cliff. I don't care, Dr. Art. You call it. A waterfall. You want to go down a waterfall? Wherever you want to race. Let's see. What's on the Tubi? Australia had a love affair with 4-doors, especially the Falcon GT-HO Phase 3. Well, there you go with the GT-HO.
GT-HO Phase 3. Yes, they were. They're an awesome car.
I'm going to say something positive about your people.
What's that?
Yeah. Okay. You know why the Australians and the New Zealand guys have no problem? They like the 4-doors because they're not winnies. Okay. They don't base their ego on how many doors a car has. They go for the performance. They go for the practicality. They understand the inherent strength in a sedan style body. And so they don't have a problem. And anytime I ever hear anybody diss 4-door cars, I automatically write them off. I'm like, you are not a true car person. If you can actually discriminate against a car based on how many doors that it has, you're not a true car person. Go away. Go do something else. You can have your preferences. Now, if your preference is for a 2-door car, that's fine. That's fine. But as soon as you diss a 4-door car, you lost me. I have no respect.
Dripping glass. What do you guys think of the new kill switch that will be government mandated on new cars?
What do you think of that?
First I've heard of it.
Really?
Yeah. What is it? A kill switch that they can remotely operate?
There's a lot to this. There's a lot
Right.
to this. So I'll tell you to watch, rather than go into all of this myself here now, I'll tell you to watch a video that went up today
Mhm.
on a channel called, listen to me, Jeff Buys Cars, Geoff Buys Cars. He's over in England. And he did a video, because this isn't just in America, this is global, okay? This is around the world.
Okay.
All right. So he did a video today, literally today, exactly on that topic, and he covered a lot of very interesting bases. So if you're curious about that kill switch thing, and it's mandated, it's already in, it's in law, it's going to happen. If you're curious about it, uh, Jeff Buys Cars. That's the name of the channel. He posted the video this morning. I watched it this morning as I was having my coffee. So go there and check it out.
So that's just quickly, is it like a safety thing that they're trying to do it for? So engines can't run away, like during a
No.
crash, or
No.
just they're trying to stop people running away?
On paper, right? On paper, they're saying this to stop drunk driving. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the car, which is nonsense. There are so many different ways to stop. If you're serious about stopping drunk driving, there are ways to do it. Not this way. So the car is now going to read biometric information. Biometric information from you as you drive it
Right.
off the steering wheel. So it's basically the car is
Alcohol testing you as you drive.
well, in theory, right? So
Yeah.
I imagine that they would justify this by saying, well, you have these lane sensors, and if there's too much weaving, they'll pull you over and shut you off. But there's more to it than that. There's more to it than that, and that's why I suggest you watch the
I
video.
watched the video. Okay.
Right.
That'll be on my list. Can the Aussies Chrysler Hemi 6 being from right-hand drive car be adapted to use on our US left side drive? I really can't imagine why you would not be able to do that. It's not a wide engine. Yeah, I really don't think that'll be a problem at all.
No, I've never handled an Aussie 6, right? But most of you guys have that are from there, from his raft.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm trying to remember which side the starter motor was on those engines, and I honestly can't. It's been too long.
Yeah, now correct me if I'm wrong, but the Jeep 4-liter is pretty much the same basic external configuration. They're about within an inch or two of each other. They're about the same height, about the same width, about the same length. They package into the same place.
Yeah, that would be a fair assessment. Yeah. Tony happens to freedom drive. What did I vote when state and city and government delegating what you drive?
I don't know. All right.
Why did the 360 cross the road?
To get the bag of shrimp. Why else would a 360 cross the road?
Mitten Made Muscle. I disconnected the OnStar box on my Silverado. GM called me as the truck was still on payments. I told them I don't pay for OnStar and they don't make my monthly payments. Fair enough. Tavo saying the Hemi 6 is longer than a slant. Go away. Damn it.
Well, the slant is an exceptionally long, a short engine. I'm making a comparison to the Jeep 4-liter.
Right. Okay, so the biggest obstacle, Tavo's saying the biggest, and he would know, he's playing with that Aussie stuff all the time. The length is the biggest obstacle on going into an A-body because, it's longer than a slant 6.
Zero saying, remember when Wired magazine hacked that Jeep? Seemed easy then years ago. Vaguely, I remember that. Vaguely. I don't remember the details. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah.
Wasn't here.
No, you probably were. This would have been around like 2015, 2018,
okay.
in that range.
Oh, okay.
Just when the real electronics started coming into the cars.
Okay.
But I don't remember any of the details.
No. Most of the old parts. Did the Cadillac North Star engine have any following in New Zealand? Not to my knowledge, no. It was there. I mean, it doesn't have much of a following here.
Yeah. It's not even really a very effective boat anchor because they are aluminum. You know what I mean? So it's like I've never had a good North Star experience.
Don't they have the starter motor in the middle of the V or something? That's right.
You have to take the intake manifold off to change the
I've never
starter.
I've never actually had my hands on one.
I was a regular mechanic. I was doing regular mechanic things. They towed in and no start. It was a Cadillac North Star. It was the first time I'd experienced this thing. It was before the internet, so it wasn't like widespread knowledge. And I didn't have the book to go with it. So you remember, life was a lot different back in, let's say, the early 90s, right? Before all of this took over. And I remember this thing getting towed into me. It was a no start. Went through all of the odds and ends. Like, okay, it's got to be the starter. Well, I jacked the car up, and I'm like, okay, where's the starter? And I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm like, where is the starter? Right. So after a stupid amount of time under this car, just searching and searching and finding the
you
oil
question
leak.
yourself and your own sanity, doesn't it? It's like, I'm just not seeing it. Like, it's there, but I'm just not seeing it. But you actually, no, you weren't seeing it.
I remember two things from laying under that car looking for the starter. The frustration of not being able to find a starter, like is this like all of the drugs I did when I was a teenager? Is this now affecting me?
Am I really a mechanic?
Right? Yeah. Am I really a mechanic? Is this the real life? And then the other thing was noticing how much oil was literally seeping through the side of the block. It was porous.
Porous.
The
Wow.
blocks were porous. And then finally, I don't remember who I called or I asked, and I says, "Oh yeah, you got to take the intake manifold off." Okay, yeah.
Cordell B. Kiwi will be shut down at least 3 times a week, blocking traffic in Franklin. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean, but
I don't either. But I think we should do something at your shop that gets us shut down a few times. At your shop.
At my shop.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
All right, here's the blue button. What else have we got? You ever had a Caddy 500? No, I've not had one of those.
Neither did I. Joe King, how long until you realized? Longer than I want to admit. Longer than I want to admit. Before I finally reached out for help.
Roy Ferdtop, 245 versus 265. Who knew 10 cubic inches could make a huge difference? Well, your math's off there because it's 20 cubic inches.
But that's...
I mean, 20 cubic inches, it's a little bit more to it than that. This is where it comes back on engines, any engine, like combinations. It's bore and stroke, and there's a whole lot of factors go in to make an engine happy and make more power. It's not just cubic inches. And I think the 265 was just, on many levels a better engine, as much by chance as by design compared to the 245.
King Soda. Hello, Tony. I need help finding an oil pump for a 455. Okay. It's coming out of a 76 Buick Electra, and I really need help. Go ahead. That's a trick question.
I wouldn't have thought that'd be hard to find.
Oh, come on, Kiwi. That's a trick question.
What is it?
Think Buick.
And he's not finding an oil pump for a 455. It's coming out. Okay, I'm missing it. What's the trick question?
It doesn't have a separate oil pump. The oil pump on a Buick is built into the timing cover, and so all you have is these 2 gears. Yeah. See, you can't find one because they don't make one. You can find a rebuild kit for one, but you can't find an actual oil pump for a Buick engine for that series of Buick engines.
Yeah. So you got me.
This is why I get paid the big bucks.
Yeah. I'm a bit more familiar with the nail head than those ones.
Yes, the nail head had an actual oil pump.
Yeah, Mr. Jerry, all pumpers in the front housing.
Right. Now you can improve it. They sell a spacer, taller gears and a spacer for that setup also. So if you're looking for a high volume Buick oil pump, which is a good idea.
Zach Cutchins, thoughts on the old Buick odd-fire engines? Haven't had much to do with them either. Yeah.
I mean, they were good pedestrian motors, but the changing up the crankshaft made a difference.
Greg Avila nailhead, yeah, I love nailheads. I mean, the head's a disaster, but they're just such a cool engine. Jeff Hutchins, silly Kiwi. This is America. There's no replacement for displacement. Bore and stroke, blah, blah, blah. It's cubes, man. Well, yes, that's a very good old expression, no replacement for displacement or no substitute for cubic inches. Yeah, it's not a bad formula, that, really. Tavo, the Hemi 6 is 28 and 5/8 of an inch long. See, he's the guru.
He knows.
Like,
he
he's
knows.
just like a savant on Aussie 6s.
To put in a USA, buddy, you have to mess with the fan and radiator. Leave the fan and spacer off. Pop an electric fan in the front. You're good to go. There you go.
There you go. Easy. Or just move the firewall backwards.
Yeah, which would probably be the easiest way. This way you can use all the normal accessories on the front of it.
Yeah.
And you got an oil pan issue too, right? That should be a. No, you wouldn't have an oil pump issue. It's a center sump. It's not a rear sump, if I'm not mistaken.
Charlotte Cullen, Box Broncos had 2 oil pump pickups. Really?
Box Broncos had 2 oil pump pickups. I didn't know that.
I haven't heard of that.
2 oil pump pickups.
They had like a double sump oil pan because when you went to the rear pan, they had the big bowl part of the oil pan, and then at the front they needed a little mini one to go around the oil pump.
Well, it's like a Fox
body. But yeah. But they didn't have a pickup in the front. It still only had a pickup in the back.
Right.
So but I mean,
had 2 drain plugs. But
2 drain plugs.
Right.
Yep.
One pickup.
Not aware of one that had 2 pickups, but hey, learn something every day. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong about that too, but I'm pretty sure it's just double sump and not double pickup.
Yeah. Andrew Button, I think he meant a Fox body double sump. Yeah, that's what we've kind of figured out there.
Right. Yeah, we'll find no front pickups on those. Right.
Tara saying it's a center sump, no issue there. Might foul US steering drag link. I think ours is mounted a little further back.
Right. That's the big problem with putting a 4-liter Jeep because they're all rear sump. So if you want to put a 4-liter into a conventional Mopar, you've either got to go rack and pinion steering or you got to fabricate a different pump and a different pan and pickup.
Right. If you're running dual point distributor, how much timing would you want at the bottom and at the top? And around what RPM would you switch?
Oh, you're talking about for a high RPM retard. Okay, it's not as simple and straightforward. When Jenkins was doing that, he was using the factory Chevy dual point distributor, and there's only about 4 degrees of timing between the 2 sets. So you could switch from one set to the other, let's say at the top of high gear, or just when you get into high gear for that retard. Most dual points have a slightly bigger spread between them, so there might be some drilling and fabricating and shit like that. But that was Jenkins' deal, and that was based off of the factory Chevy dual point distributor with 4 degrees between the points.
Super chat here.
Oh,
Carter
thank
Reed.
you, Carter.
I have an online interview for a lube tech with no expiration. Have worked retail for the last 5 years. I'm 23. Any advice?
Yeah, Carter, listen, this is really easy. Tell your boss that you have experience, okay? And tell him that you worked for me. Tell him whatever you tell him, and then contact me and give him my number. So this way I know you lie and I'll swear to it. However much experience whatever experience you want.
That's a cheap $5. That's a cheap bribe.
He sent a super chat. It's the least I could do. Brother man, you lie, I swear to it. It's that simple.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as like if you don't want to do that and you want to like just be honest and just tell people you're willing to learn. Show up on time. You know what I mean? Show up like you mean business. Don't sit around. You know what I mean? Like, you got some idle time. Pick up a broom and sweep. Anytime I owned the shop, if I you see a guy standing around, it's like it burns your ass because you're paying them and they're
I
No,
know.
you know, right?
I know.
You know, it burns your fucking ass. You know, you're paying these people what you're paying them, and it's usually more than they're worth, and they're just standing around waiting for a part, waiting for this. Pick up a broom, right? Pick up a broom, wipe down tools, just make it look like you're busy. You know what I mean? Like you're doing something, and your boss will love you and go out of their way to help you learn whatever skills you need to learn.
And leave your phone in your car till lunchtime.
Yeah.
Leave it. That's a most bosses hate that when
Yeah.
you've got 30 seconds free and you're on your phone. Boom, like
Yeah.
click, click, on the phone, and it's like
Yeah,
not
or
paying
you're
you to
texting
be
back
on the
and
phone.
forth, right? You know,
Yeah.
it's like I know your head
Mm.
isn't under the dashboard of the car you're working on. Your
Yeah.
head is with this fight you're having with your girlfriend, and so it's like, yeah, you
Yeah, you don't need to be getting calls from your mates or your girlfriends at when you're on the clock. That's just that. That's one of the big drawbacks of the mobile phone is that everyone's connected all the time, and
Yep.
it's like that will shorten your length of your term of employment.
yeah, yeah, or it'll turn your boss against you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It'll turn your boss against you just knowing that this is what's going on.
But yeah, there are places I've heard of other hot rod shops where if you're not allowed
Yeah.
a phone. That's just a rule. And if you're caught with your phone, during the working hours, like other than like lunches or predetermined breaks that you shop may give you, you're out of there. It's like, and there are no warnings. It's just like you're on your phone during working hours. You're gone. See ya. Come pick up your paycheck on Thursday. Because a lot of time can disappear down those phones. Yeah, Tuki's saying the same thing. Apply everywhere. Somebody will give you a chance, and when they do, don't let them down. Leave your phone in the car. Yeah.
Modern realities, modern sensibilities.
Yeah, I mean, when I was young, like 23, you basically said goodbye to your girlfriend or your wife or whatever at 8 o'clock, and then might ring her at lunchtime, maybe,
Yeah,
but
but
probably
that's
not.
back when everything was in black and white.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a long time ago.
No, we were into colour then. But yeah, and then you couldn't be contacted till 5 o'clock, and life moved on.
Yeah.
Like life carried on.
It's true. We're
Like
way
kids,
too connected these days.
Kids would disappear at like 8 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Yep.
And they'd be home for dinner at 5, and people didn't worry.
We're way too connected these days.
Way too
connected. I remember being on the road, right? And it was like, I had no idea even what was, Kathy didn't even know what part of the country I was in. You know what I mean? Because it was just, you're on the road.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing. And it's like, you didn't have that whole, like, that constant communication,
No.
I'm at mile marker 116 in Maryland. You just didn't
you
have it.
ring back to tell her you're at mile 117.
Right. I'll get home when I get home, and maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. That's close enough. That's all you needed, and that was only like 30 years ago. It's not. It's a whole different universe now.
Anyway, that's enough ragging on phones.
Okay. Don't stare at the blue button.
I was reading.
If you guys are old school, then I'm free school.
Chief Hutchins just noticed my shirt. The two best things: hot rod and gun. It's rod and gun.
Oh, that's a dog.
That is a
That's
dog.
a nice dog.
And it's a rod and gun, which is a brand. It's not actually anything. Yeah, it's meant to be to do with hunting, rods and guns.
I met a dog I fell in love with yesterday. Her name is Pixel.
Pixel?
Yeah, she's a 6-year-old border collie.
Right.
Oh, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the look of her eyes.
And what did your dog think of her, or was she not there?
No, we went to a dog meeting last night.
All right.
And
is it like an AA
for a club
meeting?
meeting. So no. I don't even know why I'm even talking about this. But no, we do training on Thursday night, which is why we can't do our Thursday night thing. But we have a once-a-month meeting of the dog club, and one of the members brought her border collie. Her name was Pixel, and I've been thinking about Pixel all day.
That's quite a cool name for a dog.
She's a beautiful, beautiful dog. Okay. Joe Kim wants to know if we are aware of the LS7 valve drop issue. You aware of that?
No.
No, neither of us. Kiwi's Classic Kennels. Yeah, dude, let's get into the dog business. How about this car stuff? I want to live in a dog world. I really do.
Not a bad lie. Kiwi Classic Kennel. Rob Morris, can I upgrade my Dodge Omni with a peppy lawnmower engine?
A real peppy one, yeah.
Jeff Hutchins tried to distract Tony with guns and he went straight to dog.
Well, I saw the picture of the dog on there.
Hey, well, there you go.
No, really, I'm so fed up with the state of society and the world and people in general that I just literally just want to live in a dog world. I just want to surround myself with dogs and just be with dogs. Except Kiwi. I love Kiwi. And you guys are good too. But I mean, out there, boy, have you been to Walmart? You know what I mean? Have you, you know what I mean?
It's an experience.
Hey, have you been to the supermarket? The 1,000-yard stare? Everybody's got the 1,000-yard stare. Some of them already wearing masks and shit. And it's like, okay, give me dogs. I just want to be around dogs.
Ricardo San Nicolas, how did you all get started in the car world? How did you get started, Tony?
Well, there is no real start for me. It just, I was obsessed with cars. I was obsessed with cars and locomotives when I was a baby.
So was your old man into cars and
Not
stuff? Or?
even the slightest.
Well,
I'm the black sheep. Literally, I'm a black sheep of my family. Nobody in my entire bloodline, except for my late uncle Dominic, who was killed in a house fire a couple of years before I was born. He was cleaning a carburetor in a kitchen. Had to have a carburetor cleaner with him. It was during the winter.
Wow.
And he had a fire and he died in the fire. And my grandmother, Katie, her brother, his sister, used to say that I was the reincarnation of Dominic. I was born with an obsession for engines, locomotives, that sort of thing. So there really was no start to my. It's just been a transition through the last 61 years of my life.
Yeah, I mean, I got started at a pretty early age. My old man was always like into cars, and he was one for buying one that was not in great shape and fixing it up a bit and flipping them and making it a bit of side money and stuff like that. So I guess I just started at an early age, but yeah, I don't know. I really do think you are born with a passion for it. Like I had much more of a passion for it than he did. It was more of, with my old man, it was more of a means to an end. With me, it was just from a young age, it's just all I could kind of think about.
Machines just talk to you. That video I did today. So it's like, and people don't really understand. Like, the video I did today on the oil clearances and the path of oil through that's the stuff I'm into. You know what I mean? Like I really don't care about like crazy exotic things. I love the nitty gritty of machines. I love the little things, the little details that make machines function and modifying those little details. You know what I mean? The cause and effect, and even running into problems. I enjoy creating problems for myself. Oh, I'll just slam this into this and see what happens. It's an adventure. It's an adventure. You know what I mean? And that's how I keep myself entertained. Travis Moore saying when he was a kid, he used to take things apart to see how they worked. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's just something. It's just something you're born with. I really do think. Like my boy, he he was with me messing with cars, from being a few weeks old. But it's just not his bag. It's not his thing. He likes having a nice car to drive, but working on it, no, that's what other people do. What are you going to do? So yeah, I didn't pass it on to him, but
like when I have like idle time, right? I don't know if you do this, but when I have idle time, I study like service manuals from like different engines I'm not familiar with. You know what I mean? Like if one of them happens, or I'll go online and I'll start researching an engine. Whatever happens is Studebaker, 259, whatever it happens to be, and I'll do a deep dive into that engine, try to learn all of the things, like back engineer the engine. What were the engineers thinking when they, why was this done? Why was that done? And like, what circumstances existed in the world of cars at the time to make them think this way? And that's where I get my jollies. That's where, you know what I mean? Like to me, that's like watching a movie. For most people, for me, it's studying the idiosyncrasies and the specifics of engines.
Yeah, I was one of those kids taking stuff apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meccano sets. Did you have Meccano sets over here?
We didn't. We had
Or
a
Rector
Rector
sets.
sets.
Yeah. Love that stuff. Try and make cranes and a little electric motor on it.
Did you see the James May one where he built a Meccano motorcycle?
No.
Yeah. and he raced it at the Isle of Man.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Good grief. Really?
Watch it. It's a great episode.
I had the strange, funny thing that went on in my world this week. My Mrs. Kiwi bought a jigsaw over the weekend, like a big jigsaw puzzle, like about
Oh, okay.
2.5 feet by 2.5 foot.
Really?
And just completely out of left field, it was on special or something at TJ Maxx, and she thought, "Oh, that'd be interesting." So over the weekend, a few times I'm walking by, going, "That bit goes over there," be helpful, told to go away, but Anyway, she took off traveling this week, so
You're going to do the jigsaw puzzle while she's gone?
I did it. I finished it.
Did you?
Yeah, it's like I couldn't leave it alone. Like it's like all the little bits going together. It was like a childhood memory relapse or something. But yeah, so I sent a picture of it to her of it all done, and she's like, "What?" So I have a feeling. Well, I think she'll probably go and buy herself a new one over the weekend. But
Well, but you got to do the right thing. You have to go pick it up for her.
I probably should.
Yeah, I would. I would.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of refreshing. Like you could just zone out onto this. It probably sounds lame as heck, but
no, I get it completely.
Really caught me off guard by surprise.
It's addictive. That's the kind of thing you start doing it.
Yeah.
And like you say, "Oh, I've only been at this for 20 minutes," and it's 4 hours later.
Yeah. And I'll just do one more bit. Oh, but there's another bit here. And then and then there's another 15 minutes have gone by. It's like, shit.
When you think about it, these things are just big greasy jigsaw puzzles.
Yeah. So it was funny. Tony, you ever see a sleeve valve engine? I have seen it. Well, I'm at Tony, but I've seen a sleeve valve engine.
Yeah, I'm barely familiar.
Kind of, and it's an interesting way of getting to the same place as with a 4-stroke engine.
I can't even pronounce that. Can you? That's got to be a New Zealand name.
What's that? Oh,
that
is not a New Zealand name.
It's
J.
J.S.
Lots of letters.
Yeah, Smith. J. Smith. How do you feel about modern cars info tracking medical choices? We were just talking about that. And Jeff Buys Cars. The name of the channel is Jeff Buys Cars, and he posted a video this morning about that topic.
I think as a society, we've got to be really a little bit careful there. Like, there's nothing we can do in private anymore. It's getting that way anyway.
Well,
they're selling it as medical, keeping an eye on your safety, in case you have a medical issue. But it's like, really, they just want to know where you've gone, when you're doing it.
Well, so I have my TV isn't registered to anything. So when I watch YouTube videos, it doesn't come back as anybody. So they have no way to track me that way. I really don't do anything on my phone. Just simple, basic Google searches. None of my cars are modern enough to have any sort of feedback. But I'll tell you what freaked me out. So, do you ever get a report from Google of the places that you've been?
No.
Okay, I get a report once a month from Google, right? On my phone, because I use Google Maps often. I'm always going someplace, so I'm on Google Maps often. They send a report once a month saying how many miles did you cover that month? What were the busiest days that you covered the most mileage? But here's what really freaks me out, and I don't know how they did this. They break it down whether I was on a car or a motorcycle. And I have no idea how they. Does anybody know how they do that? Am I the only one this has happened to?
I've never seen a report like that.
Do you use Google Maps a lot?
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why. Maybe there's something I need to disable on this. But I mean, so I can understand them tracking me satellite-wise to say, okay, you went here, you went there, you went to the other place. I get that. But how in God's name do they know if I'm on a motorcycle or in a car? This is what I want to know.
Google traps your every movement here in British Columbia. Yeah, they listen to you. They know everything.
Wind noise through the mic, I doubt it.
Oh, you can. Yeah, someone said you can turn that setting off in Google. Maybe
Maybe I
I
should.
haven't turned it off on my phone. Maybe it was just never turned on.
Bill McKeiska, thank you for the super chat. Artificial intelligence is bad. Government intelligence is more scary, though, in my opinion. It's one and the same, bro. It's one and the same. The corporations and the government are absolutely, I mean, they couldn't not be locked together tighter. Here, you keep there going for a second. I'm going to see if I can find one of these reports.
There you go. Barracuda Kiwi, does Tony know about the mighty New Zealand made tracker? Probably not. And yeah, they really don't think that makes him less of a man than the fact that he doesn't know about the tracker. That's something that most people can live without.
Well, there are lots of things that make me less of a man. Lots of things.
Not knowing about the triggers is just not one of them.
Let's see. How do I find?
Here we go. Juicebox
reports?
is saying you can turn off that setting in Google, but I didn't know they can tell what you are driving. And then someone else saying it's the GPS that moves side to side more.
Side to side more.
Like, does it mean leaning on the bike as you're leaning into turns and stuff? I don't know whether it's
could
that
it nail you
accurate.
down that?
I don't know, but I mean, it sounds like they can tell. Like, are they somewhere near right or not? Like,
oh no, they're exactly right.
Wow.
But I don't know how to find it now. I don't know how to find it. But I get this thing once a month.
Tavo, nobody in the world should know about the tracker. Oh yeah. I saw a photo of one in a museum not long ago. Someone sent me a picture from a museum somewhere in the South Island of New Zealand, and there's a tracker in the museum. It's like I can never imagine. I wouldn't, as a kid, when they were out and about, I would never have imagined the tracker ending up in a museum. But there it was.
Yeah. No, I can't find it now. I'm going to spend the whole night on the phone trying to find it. But yeah, it breaks down whether you're in a car or a motorcycle.
Huh. Urkos, I dented my $80 Rivian, but I don't have $40K to fix it. I heard Camilla Harris described as artificial intelligence. Well, the artificial, I get.
Don't want to go there. Don't want to go there.
Don't want to go there?
Don't want to go there. Got to be careful with that stuff.
Someone else saying probably wind noise.
No, what if you're driving around with the windows rolled down? You can't go by that.
Tabo, New Zealand's larder. That's pretty harsh on the larder, mate. Okay, Rob Morris. There are two sensors in your phone called accelerometer and a gyroscope. Based on the data from these two sensors, combined with your GPS data, it can easily be predicted what kind of vehicle you're driving.
Thank you, Rob. Okay, that makes sense.
That does make
that
sense.
Makes sense.
Stick with a 1993 flip phone. Yep.
Oh, dude, this one's right up your alley.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Dutton.
Michael Dutton. Lately, I've been obsessed with the Tail of the Dragon and the Chirahala Skyway and even the road race tracks like Pikes Peak Hill Climb. What would you like to build to race on them, bike or car, and why? Definitely not a bike because I probably wouldn't survive. My problem on bikes has always been I had much more bravery than skill. And you can get away with that a little bit in a car, but not so much on a bike. I've raced the Tail of the Dragon, and that's about as much fun as you can have with your pants on, to be honest with you. That was absolutely awesome. What kind of Pikes Peak? What would you like to build or race on them? Definitely be a car. It would. What type? That's an interesting. It would probably be something similar to a rally car. because the roads are bumpy and nothing smooth about them. Like you really don't want something too low to the ground or anything designed for a really smooth road, because that tail of the dragon is not smooth. And yeah, so
You see, and that that made me think of this. There's one bike that I've never owned. I always wanted one. Like I really fell in love with these things, but it just there's things didn't come. There's things didn't go right. But I always wanted a 996, the Ducati 996. What was that?
Mrs. Kiwi has apparently just looked up what a trekker looks like.
A Trekker.
A trekker. That's what I think what I was saying about it. Does Tony know about the New Zealand trekker?
No, but she loves it.
Yeah, she
kinda
says she
looks
loves
like
it.
a
It looks
Mercedes
kind of
G-Wagon.
like a Mercedes G
Well, go
wagon.
get one. You guys are loaded. Go get one. Go
Yeah,
get two.
true.
But yeah, if
she's out of the will now. Like if she likes trekkers, I'm sorry, babe. No, we can't really be friends if you're going to love trekkers. It's just terrible.
But I couldn't. To me, handling and four wheels don't go together. To me, handling is a two-wheel thing. And if I was to ever get that bug, and I don't really think I'll ever have that bug, but if I did, I think I would have to do it. I'd have to go get a yellow 996, which is something I wanted, or even a red one. The first one I ever saw was, oh, I love that. But like I said, it just never came together.
The Porsche?
No, Ducati.
No. Oh, the Ducati. Sorry, I thought you were talking about a car, not bike.
Okay, let's see what we got.
No, cars go around corners quicker than bikes. So.
Yeah, but to me, a car goes in a straight line. Bikes
No.
handle because you lean with them and you do all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean?
No.
A car, you just sit there and go like this, and the car goes like this, right? But a bike, you're actually involved in the motion. You become part of the bike. So then the handling kind of makes sense to me.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. Agree to disagree.
I'm wrong as always. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong as always. I think I'm going to go hang out at Shane's line.
Yeah, naturally aspirated hill climb cage car. Yep, I go along with that.
Jeff Hutchins says, I'm going to throw my phone up in the air repeatedly and see what vehicle Google thinks I'm in. I like that.
That's funny.
Brian Power, UTG, how is the Slant 6 Miata doing? I haven't heard about it in many moons. It's been, I parted that car out like 2 years ago now. It's long gone.
Okay, we started something with the Trekker now. Mexican spec Kiwi. Why is the Trekker bad and the Land Rover good? They look similar.
Okay,
yes, they do look similar. They did model the Trekker around that Land Rover-ish look. The problem with the Trekker is it actually has an early Skoda engine in it, which is a rear engine, 4-cylinder, with a Volkswagen type, like a VW Bug type transaxle.
It looks like a Land Cruiser.
It looks like a Land Rover, or Land Cruiser, I suppose, but more like a Land Rover.
No, it's more Toyota than it is.
But it's rear-wheel drive only. It's not it looks like a four-wheel drive, but it's not a four-wheel drive. They had a reasonable amount of traction because the engine was hung out over behind the back axle, and it's rear drive, obviously. So they had a reasonable amount of traction for what they were, but they were built as a farming vehicle. Almost, like this was back in the.
That is a Trekker.
Yeah.
I see Toyota there. What do you guys see?
I'm seeing Land Rover, but they were made only in New Zealand. They were, they had no redeeming features. And the Skoda's quite an acceptable car these days. They're quite a good little car. But back when the Trekker was made, that would have been the 70s, and Skoda was just a joke. Honestly, it was a joke. And then they got this company in New Zealand got a bunch of their engines and transaxles and built what looked like a Land Rover around it, but it was only rear-wheel drive. And terrible thing. Anyway, there you go. There you know.
Yeah, somebody just asked me about a VMAX. Who is this? D-Truth. Yes, I spent a good deal of time on it. I had a customer that had one, and it had an intermittent issue. I don't remember what it was, but I ended up riding this thing for like hours. Actually, I had it for like 2 days, and I put a lot of miles on it, getting it to act up and finally figure out what the hell was wrong with it. This is like when I was still in New York, so it was like 20 something years ago. But yes, I spent a good deal of time on that bike, and I enjoyed it. The sound is like nothing else. The sound is like nothing else. It sounds like a NASCAR, right? It sounds, man. Have you ever, you're not a motorcycle rider.
No.
Yeah, it was a good bike. It was a good bike. I'm not compelled to buy one. I'm not crazy about the packaging, and the styling really isn't for me. But yeah, that thing was just awesome.
Travis Moore, Toyota has a new pickup for 10 grand. That's a cheap pickup.
I heard about that. I don't know how accurate that is.
I still can't afford it, but it's nice that they can lower the price a bit. What is it? Like a little four-bang, a little baby mini truck, was it?
Again, see, I don't. I've seen rumors about that, but I seriously doubt.
Can you buy a new car in the States for 10 grand now?
No. The cheapest new car is I just went through this on another live. Were you not here last week?
Yeah, I was here. I was late, but I was here.
Well, I came up that what's the cheapest American car, and it's the cheapest car available in America, and it's just under $20,000, like 19,900
Right.
change. So yeah, no, you can't. I don't know. I remember seeing something about that, but I didn't really look into it.
Probably our Aussie spec bare bones Hilux. Cheapest new car in the US is the Nissan Versa, 18K.
Right, that was it.
Mark M, it's a real 10K truck, but it's really small. Huh.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's like a modern version of the original Hilux. Hiluxes are pretty popular.
If they can actually put a viable small pickup truck on the market, and it's only like 10 grand, 11 grand, they will sell. They won't be able to build them fast enough. They won't be able to build them fast enough. The $10,000, I would go buy one just to say, well, look here, I bought a $10,000 truck.
The 10K Toyota pickup is as ugly as the Trekker. Toyota IMVO. There you go.
What's that?
That's what he's saying here. Toyota
All right. Once again, I head to the land of Google.
He's going bye-byes.
I do that a lot on this show. Okay. What's it called? Toyota what?
Toyota IMV space O.
Toyota
Or zero. It's zero, actually. M for zero.
IMV
space zero.
Space zero. Okay.
Ricardo San Nicolas saying it looks pretty cool.
It looks like it broke my phone.
Mexican speak. We have nice cars for 13K, 4-cylinder stick shift.
The site can't be reached. Let's try again. There it is. First drive. Toyota's $10,000 pickup truck, so perfect. Why are we sad? Let's see what this thing is.
He's still researching.
Well, that's actually pretty cool. That's very utilitarian.
Oh, okay.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
So that's this $10,000 Toyota.
It's definitely been hit with the ugly stick, but hey.
Nah, it's got a charm to it. I like that.
Looks like a pickup version of the Moke. I can actually see that.
Built in America for Americans and Canadians to dodge the chicken tax.
Chicken tax?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Okay, it started at 15,200.
So where's the 10K coming?
I don't know. Target. Oh wait, no. I got to read this a little bit closer.
Oh, he's got lots of reading to do.
Yeah. Gas or diesel 4-cylinder power. High utility.
Tippy River, buy it, stick it to the EVs. Yep. Floyd's Garage 83 was the Toyota Indestructible truck. You're referring to that one that they just tried to destroy on Top Gear? Yeah, that was
a
around.
great episode.
Yeah,
That was,
well, that went over many episodes, that particular truck, because they tried to destroy it many times.
but that first one, that was the one that got me. That's where I really noticed Top Gear, because I had seen like Top Gear before then, and it was like, oh, that's gayer than a bag of dicks, right? and then they, yeah, no, seriously, and then they did that Hilux thing.
Can I use that? I'm going to remember that expression. That's good.
I got it from you. Well, that was the biggest shrimp.
Sorry, I interrupted. Carry on. Carry on your spiel.
So, but that after the Hilux thing, I was like, these guys are cool, right? So, and then I became a real Top Gear fan. I mean, I saw every episode and multiple times.
Hmm.
They were really good, really genius. And then they just ran out. They just ran out. Let's just stare at it.
Yep. Blue button. I know. Yeah, North Chicken Tax 1962 stopped production of import trucks to the US. 25% tariff. Wow.
Really?
Yeah, that's quite a bit of tax.
I never heard of that.
Travis Moore, Ford is making a Ranchero for 10 grand also. Really?
I've seen the new Maverick. Have you seen the new Maverick?
No, I've not seen the new Maverick.
I got to tell you, I like it a lot. Now, I don't know any of the mechanical details about it, and I've seen pictures of them. Didn't really do anything for me. But I saw one in traffic the other night. I was coming home from the shop, and I was pacing one along Highway 96 out here.
Hmm.
And I like it. It's a good size. It's not freaking ridiculous, ginormous. It has some nice lines to it. It actually looks like a nice pickup truck. The new. What do you guys think of that? Have you seen these things?
Carbo. Looks like the Hilux hit severely with the ugly stick. Hilux starts in Oz at 23,000, 15,000 US. I don't know whether you can buy one for 15 here in the States. The brat got the jump seats because of the chicken tax. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Subaru brat was
Okay.
designed to skirt around the chicken tax.
Yeah. Okay. Now I remember. Now it rings a bell. Now I remember that. Yes, I've seen Whistle and Diesel's Hilux durability test. He's done a few of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just beat the death out of it?
Please. Dropped it out of a helicopter.
Dropped it out of a helicopter? Good lord.
Okay. View deleted messages. What's that?
Oh.
Yep. Oh,
What
looks
are you
good.
doing?
Being the right size. I'm just. I agree, Zero. That had a lot to do with it. The right size actually had a lot to do with it.
It looks good due to being the right. Yeah, okay. This thing's doing its own thing. Toyota Tacoma will be a hybrid in 2024. I saw your video the other day talking about the Dodge Ram.
Oh, I think it's sickening.
That V6.
It's sickening.
V6 electric car.
Okay. I got a little ranty on that. I maybe it hit some emotional buttons, right? But everybody wants to go electric. Oh, it's mandated. Gotta go electric. Gotta be electric. Gotta be electric. Okay, so make it freaking electric. Okay. Oh well, we need a range extender. No, let's put a whole automotive engine in there, right, for a range extender. Then what was the point of doing electric to begin with?
Yeah.
What was the point of doing electric to begin with?
Hmm.
All you've done is created an overstuffed, overcomplicated, overpriced like lawn ornament, because that's where it's going to end up after 8 years. Stranger Sound, the G-Wagon test actually impressed me like the Hilux did. Any vehicle that can produce more than one whistle and diesel video is built good. I agree with you. You know, he's literally 10 miles down the road over here.
Oh, really?
Whistle
That
and
close?
diesel.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's in College Grove. Right now we're
Oh,
in, we're
okay,
in
yeah, yeah.
Triune, and he's one town over in College Grove.
Barracuda, a 23 supercharged Hemi Dodge Ram goes for $259,000 in New Zealand.
Jeez.
So that Hemi supercharged, that's that.
The Hurricane 6, which is another abortion, right? It's like okay, like Ford started this whole thing with the Ego Boost. Now this whole movement is to tiny freaking engines with turbochargers all over the place. Like they make 500 horsepower out of them, 600 horsepower. Okay, that's no trick. It's been done. It's been done 1,000 times. But now, how is this thing going to be reliable for the long haul? How is this? How is a twin turbocharged inline six that's hauling around a 6,000-pound vehicle, right? How much heat, how many insane heat cycles this thing is going to go through and all of the bits around it. So even if the motor does last, what about all the stuff around it? It's just bad. Everything is just bad. Everything's bad. Uh-oh. Do you want to give Jay Weiss a shout out?
Jay Weiss, welcome to the show.
Was that his shout out?
I guess so, yeah.
All right. Welcome, Jay Weiss.
Welcome. Rifle Shoot 3R. Quick question for you. I have a 70 Duster 340 I'm dropping the engine into. Which side engine mount goes on which side of the block? And should it mount front board or rear board of the block ears?
On the driver's side, it's rearward. On the driver's side, it's rearward. Hang on.
He'll be right back. That's Kiwi been passing bad New Zealand dollars again. They were really good fake New Zealand dollars. They weren't bad. They were good. You could hardly tell the difference.
Passenger side to the front, driver's side to the rear of the ears.
There you go.
There you go.
You heard it from the horse's mouth.
Yes, I got it right from the 318 sitting on the floor over there.
Yeah. Hey, Tony at Kiwi, are the aluminum forward rocker shaft pedestals supposed to crush onto the shaft? Mine are OBD 22 thou. And if they're supposed to... disappeared. There we go. And if they're supposed to crush, I'll hone them to slide back on and torque them on.
I don't know.
No, sorry.
No, I couldn't imagine any crush intended to be used on a rocker shaft pedestal, because that would increase the preload on the lifter beyond
rocker
what.
Shaft pedestal.
Yeah, no, that can't be right.
No.
Stray Bullet is going to burn through some turbochargers. Yeah, it will. Yeah, it will. It's going to burn through all of the hoses, all of the wires, all that stuff is going to just the heat, the constant crazy heating and cooling cycles is going to destroy everything. Everything, even if the motor stays together forever, it's going to kill everything around it. I think we just stare at the blue circle. No. What are you doing? Let's just
Stare at the blue circle.
Let's absorb the blue circle. Let's really.
No, come on. There's people have got important questions. Kiwis, coconuts, and cream cake. Here we go.
Have you guys subscribed to his amazing channel, which is much better than my own?
Well, what can I say? I mean,
that your channel is much better than mine.
Yeah.
And they need to subscribe to.
EPA, Mike Finn Garage. EPA restricts trucks with small wheelbases to meet over 40 miles per gallon mileage estimates. That is why they don't make them anymore.
So stretch out the wheelbase. That crazy thumb of yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Ford 302, every time I hook the vacuum advance, it runs like shit.
You got it too far advanced.
Sounds that way, yeah.
It'll accelerate fine. But then when you back off and you cruise easily, like just a light cruise at 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, it'll be like bucking, that kind of thing. You just have too much advanced dialed into the distributor. Chris, so the Jeep 4.0 Origins is in the AMC. Yes, the Jeep is actually the old AMC Hurricane 6. Go ahead, you take one now.
Floyd's Garage, break them. Japan did it in the 80s with the Nikkei bubble. Nikkei bubble.
Yeah.
When it burst,
the
they
stock
deliberately
market.
left them in a recession for about 20 years till it caved in. Okay. What's your go-to manual for LS engine upgrades? Haynes Engine Tech manual.
I don't know.
That would have to be the TKX. Trimming's TKX would be the go-to. It's probably one of the best, probably the best transmission out there right now.
Frank Russell, what are your thoughts on the Chrysler 4.7 V8? Overcomplicated turd. They built it to replace the 318, the LA motor, or the Magnum, I should say. It was supposed to be a replacement for the Magnum, and it's just it fail. They run good. They run really good when they hold together. But that whole jack shaft timing chain thing at the front of it, and all, overcomplicated turd. Wow, we've been at this. Look what time it is.
Well, yeah, it's heading up to the 2 hours.
Shit. How did that go so fast?
It just did.
And you only got 170 likes.
I only got 170. I'm just not as popular.
You're done. You're done.
The 4.7 is the perfect neutral drop motor. Mike N. Did New Zealand have a lot of early 60s Vauxhalls back in the day? Was it a popular car to hot rod? Yes, there was a lot of Vauxhalls back in the day. It was not a popular car to hot rod.
Who made the Vauxhall?
General Motors England.
Okay.
Was the English division of GM. They like the Holden Commodore was, of reasonably recent times, was sold in England as a Vauxhall, and that they brought some Vauxhalls to Australia and sold them as Holdens.
Okay.
And into New Zealand as well.
Yeah, see, we never got the nameplate.
They're all it's all quite incestuous, really. Why Floyd's Garage? Why does low compression equal better economy?
It doesn't.
No,
it doesn't.
That doesn't sound right to me either.
Yeah, it's an emissions thing. They lowered the compression, retarded the timing to reduce. One of the things I have, you see, there are certain things I have like I just can't find myself interested enough to do even the slightest bit of research on, and that's one of them. I don't know.
The Colden Homodor. I haven't heard him called that. That's pretty good. Charlotte Quillen, Kiwi, how often do you get back to the old country? Every couple of years, probably on average. It's a long way to go. It's 13-hour flight from LA. So
now when you go
to LA,
when you go back there, do they celebrate you that you've left the raft and you came here to America and now you're a YouTube star? Do they have, like, when you go back there, they're like lay out a parade?
I haven't been back since I've been a YouTube
really?
star. That's a bit of a stretch.
Oh, wait till you go back.
Oh well, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna parade and the girls in a grass skirts, and they're gonna bring you pies and stuff like that. Yeah, it'll be great.
Hopefully pies. I'm down
Yeah,
for the
they'll
pies.
bring you pies.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
National Kiwi Day, yes.
National Kiwi Day.
419 Customs loves watching your videos.
Cool, thank you.
Recharge the accent. Yeah, your accent's getting a little dull. I got to tell you. I don't want to be hurtful or anything like that. But yeah, your accent's slipping.
Kiwi is mobbed at the airport. No, I don't see that happening. But hey, one can dream. God, the Son of Jesus Christ, do you like the US better than New Zealand? That's a tough one. I mean, home's New Zealand will always be home.
But he's here.
But I'm here. But there's definitely things that are better here, and there are some things in New Zealand that are better than the US. But for right now, the US is home, and who knows?
Tavo says you get a haka at the airport. Tavo, listen, bro.
Mate, that would be awesome.
This is a family show, okay? You know what I mean? We try to keep things, clean.
Oh, the haka is haka. You don't know what the
I
haka
don't
is?
want to know. I don't
No,
want.
it's nothing like that. It's nothing that
How could it not
R-rated.
be?
HAKA.
Yeah.
It's that. It's like a war thing that they do before sports games. You've never seen the haka?
Oh, how do you see a haka? I live in freaking Tennessee.
Oh yeah, but okay. That's one of the most well-known things about New Zealand is the haka. If you watch sports,
Back to Google.
back to Google.
Okay.
That's a big thing. People love it. They really do.
I spent half the show Googling stuff.
Yeah.
Haka, Haka, haka.
There you go.
Okay. A video. I'm gonna get a video of him doing a haka. Is this the greatest haka ever?
There you go.
Oh wait,
So it's even
this,
a YouTube.
This one's a 23-second video. The haka, 100% pure New Zealand.
It's a war challenge by the Maori people, which the New Zealand's indigenous people, and yeah, they always do it before sporting events for any dignitaries and yeah.
And those are friends. Kiwi's been hanging around with these guys right here.
Okay, that's possibly not the best example. We'll just hey guys, we'll just leave him
It's
over
the first
there.
one that popped up.
Sorry about the background noise. That's Tony having an aneurysm over the side of some Maori people doing a haka.
All right, let's see this video. This is supposed to be the greatest haka ever.
Up to 90% off. First come, first serve.
I have to wait through the commercial. Somebody's
Yeah.
getting paid for this.
Trendy design.
Okay, here it is. Here's a
The
haka.
All Blacks just waiting for the French to peel off the tracksuits, stand in front of them, and receive the challenge of the haka.
Oh, wait, I can watch it through here.
Chippendale.
Tell me, when did he start doing the haka?
Any second now. Just be patient. See, this is a big international rugby game.
That's an epic beard that guy's got.
Justin Billington, you're absolutely right, man. Yeah, yeah, that would probably have him speechless. Rugby, stray bullet, yes, it's rugby. So it's a challenge.
I gotta be honest, I don't know what to make of this.
It's about as Kiwi as you can get.
There you go, guys. You come here for culture. Screw cars. What's the white team doing?
We're just watching basically. At zero rugby. Aussie rugby is awesome. Yep. Kenny McCann.
Well, the challenge has been received.
There you go. You just saw a haka.
The Rugby World Cup final.
It really, watching it on a phone through a live stream is probably not the best way of watching it, to be fair. But
I honestly don't know what to make of it. I mean, it looks pretty angry. We have guns in this.
true. Yeah. But it's like it's hard to get an entertaining game when you've shot the other side.
Yes, Kiwis, Hakas, Hummus, and Holdens.
Ah, There you go. That's very good. I like that one.
Is that a game? No,
Doug's maintenance shops. Actually pretty powerful stuff. Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, you kind of got to be there.
you have
One of
to
those
see it
things
live.
you've
It's one of
gotta
those
be
things
there.
you gotta like a fuel car. You can't just watch it on TV. You actually have to be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlotte Quillen, do you like Australian rules football? Yes, I do. Used to be a big fan of the Sydney Swans when I lived in Sydney. Yeah.
IP standing up, so I kind of stay away from all of these like sports ball things.
Sports ball.
Yeah.
UTG. What's the easiest way to tell big block from small block 4-barrel manifolds? The size?
No, they don't even resemble each other. The big block has no provision for water or any. So just at a glance, a big block intake manifold doesn't have a thermostat housing. A small block manifold does have a thermostat housing. Small block Mopar manifold looks just like a Chevy small block manifold. The difference there is that the small block Mopar doesn't have a distributor cut out in the back, where the Chevy does have a distributor cut out in the back. Good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Fine.
Yep. Justin Billington from England. Very cool. Support
Floyd's-
England and also support New Zealand too in the rugby, as you should. Yeah.
Floyd's Garage only eats meat and eggs. Yeah. Go carnivore, man. I've done that. I don't eat eggs, but I've done the carnivore diet.
Oh,
It's
charming.
bitchin'. It's expensive.
Jeff Hutchins. In American, we just huck a loogie.
Yeah, we do hockaloogies.
My dad took my mum's Red 69 Dart Slant 6 to work one day. 2 weeks later, there was a black Dart with a 344 speed in it. That was the week mum stopped driving us kids to school and dad took over.
Nice.
Good for him. Well done.
Kiwi, do you like American biscuits and gravy?
Yeah, not so much.
Really?
No, really, no, not with gravy. No, the biscuits are like American biscuits are very much like scones or scones.
See, I'm
So
not
I'd
really
rather
familiar
have them
scones.
with jelly on it. I'd rather have a biscuit with jelly on it than gravy.
The gravy with the sausage gravy
Yeah.
and the biscuits and everything. Man, when I first moved to Tennessee, I put on like 20 pounds the first 2 weeks that I was here because I couldn't stop eating that stuff.
Tell you one thing I don't get is grits.
No, I don't get grits either.
Oh,
You know what grits
that's
are, right?
like sawdust and white sauce.
Grits are literally okay. So grits is crushed corn cob. Okay,
Corn cob.
corn cob.
Oh.
Grits is crushed corn cob. Do you know what else is crushed corn cob?
MDF.
Speedy dry.
Wooden pally. Speedy dry.
Speedy dry is
Oh.
crushed corn cob.
Oh yeah.
So grits is speedy dry, just different, but it's the same. They're both crushed corn cobs.
No wonder it tastes so shit.
All right, dude, we're at the end of
We
the
are
line here.
out of time.
We don't dare go a minute over the 2-hour mark.
Justin Billington. Yeah, you're right. That's what I said. American. Yeah. Scones. Scones if you're posh. Scones if you just blue collar.
He's saying I might enjoy Kina. Who is she?
Who's saying what?
I don't know. Barracuda says Tony might enjoy Kina.
Oh,
What is that?
You've seen a sea urchin?
Oh no, I don't eat anything come out of the water. I don't do seafood at all.
No,
Anything.
Kinner's not even seafood. Kinner is like the internals of a sea urchin, which is those little shell things about the size of a grapefruit with all the spikes on them.
Yeah,
You break them open and there's all this like sick inside of it.
yeah.
It's like, and they eat that raw, and it's like, yeah, not in my lifetime.
No, I'm so good with that. So Fubar just put up a link to my merch. How's your merch coming?
Well, it's coming along. Next. Sorry, what was the question?
So Fubar just put up a link to my merch. So if you want one of these shirts, what shirt am I wearing? Sorry, what's that one say?
I love carbs.
Yes, there you go. I love carbs. Right? Show your love for carburation or
You've been
pizza
wearing that shirt around your
and
dog,
pasta.
haven't you?
What's that?
You've been wearing that shirt around your dog, haven't you?
I was rolling around my dogs
You
before,
can
so I'm
tell.
covered with dog hair.
What you can't see in YouTube vision is
I am always covered in dog hair.
he's covered in dog hair.
Yes.
Need to shave his shirt, bud.
I do need to shave it. So yeah, Our hairy shirt or non-hairy shirts. The one we sent you are not hairy. The ones that I wear for a date, yes, they get very hairy. Our hats, our stickers, and I don't even know what else is on there. I have nothing. I don't even know if Kathy takes the money and she does things with it. I don't even know where it goes. I have no idea. So I
That's
really
how she keeps
don't.
her young boyfriend.
Probably.
You know,
Uh,
she's got to pay for his gas and stuff like
Yes.
that. You
So
know.
if it makes you feel any better, if you buy merch from Uncle Tony's Garage, I have no idea where the money goes, how much comes in, where it gets. I don't know. All I know is I keep buying new merch to sell. And all right. So
Tony needs a lint brush.
I need more than
Oh dear.
and what do you need to promote?
What do I need to promote?
What do you need to? You don't have anything. To
I don't have
promote.
any merch to promote. No.
No. Do you have
No.
any new videos coming up or anything?
I
stuff
do
like-
have a couple of new videos coming, so just that should be coming out over the weekend.
Oh God, I can't wait.
One on Casper, that white Mustang fastback we got,
Okay.
and another Mustang we got in there doing some bits and pieces too, like a how-to on Dakota Digital Dash, installing a
Boo.
Dakota Digital Dash.
Boo.
Boo, what do you mean boo?
I'm gonna watch that video. Just give it a thumbs down.
Oh, you don't like anything?
Yeah, I don't like the
fancy
Dakota
or
digital dashes. No, I don't like that stuff. I swear to God, I'm gonna click on that video. I'm gonna give it a thumbs down. And I'm gonna watch it for exactly 29 seconds and click off so you don't get the fucking view.
There you go.
All right.
That's going to completely
Yeah.
shatter my budget.
Because that's what friends
you
are
not
for.
watching is going to like.
No, I'm not. I'm
it's
gonna
just
give
gonna
it a
go
thumbs down.
That's what I mean. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you not. You know, you need to watch it for 30 seconds, otherwise.
No.
I won't
I'm
be
not
able
gonna.
to-
I'm not gonna let you make money off that.
I won't be able to
No.
eat if you don't watch that. But
All
anyway.
right. Enough of this silliness. Our awesome mods, Ari, Fubar, Zero. You guys who are regulars here, you know our mods. They've been around since the beginning of time. We are all getting together. Him
Yeah, I'm
and
looking
our
forward to that.
mods.
On Sunday.
Sunday, Thanksgiving night. It's gonna. That's gonna be a fun night. That's
So
gonna
is
be.
it going to be like a four-way
Yeah.
split screen?
Yeah, we're gonna do it on StreamYard, so we'll all be on at the same time.
Okay.
And maybe we can get. There's a couple other people I may invite to join us. I'm not sure yet, but it'll definitely be us, and the mods. So you'll finally be able to put faces and voices to these fantastic guys who just every single live we do. They
just
are
never
so
miss, do they?
dedicated. What's that?
They never miss, do they?
They never
just
miss.
Always in.
And but wait, it's not that they just don't miss. They have not missed for years. So you guys are awesome, just awesome. So that'll be Thanksgiving Sunday night, and that's it. We got to get out of here. Everybody contributed with super chat. Thank you so much. It pays for this shit, all of it, right? Because I definitely don't make any money off the merch. Kathy makes the money on the merch. I don't know where or how she spends it. I think she has another house, to tell you the truth. So
it's another boy.
yeah, I think she's got a second family that I'm not aware of, and she's using the merch.
yeah.
So, but go ahead and buy it anyway. They're nice people. And everyone contributed just with your presence and your conversation. Thank you equally. We appreciate all. We love you guys. We really do. We
More
wouldn't do
haka,
this
there you
stuff if
go.
we didn't love you.
Well, I'll try and teach Tony how to do a haka. That should.
I don't
that
want
should
to
be
learn how to.
go-
I have a gun.
That'll go.
I
viral.
don't need. No, I have many guns. I don't need to know how to do a haka. We have a different kind of haka.
That would be. It would be funny. Yeah, that would be seriously funny.
What would be?
You doing the haka because your hat would probably fly off.
Yeah, I'm good at
Yeah.
doing hakas. I what was that thing with the guys in the white team? Like making like a shape. They were made a shape.
Oh yeah, well they're just trying to do something in response. Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to do.
So it's kind of
It
like
doesn't matter,
It's
we
kind of
weren't
like
watching
birds. When the birds are gonna like they go like this, and then the other bird goes like this. Is that? And I'm not ragging on your thing. I swear to God, I'm really not ragging on
You
it.
need to watch it on something bigger than a 12-inch screen.
I have never heard of it before. I don't think I'm gonna get it.
No,
No, because it's just not
Yeah.
my thing. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking it in any way, shape, or form. So don't think anybody who's like this is your religion.
it's zero.
not
It's
knocking
a
it.
Warriors challenge. He's talking about. Yeah, it is. That's
I'm
what
not
the
knocking it, I
Warriors
just don't
used to
get it.
challenge the other tribe. Like the tribes would go head to head, and they'd get ready for battle, and they would do their haka and try and intimidate the other tribe by doing that like a bigger and better haka.
Yeah, but you see, like I come from the other side of the fence where you want your enemy to underestimate you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to walk out on the field kind of like, holding your head down and maybe slumped a little bit, dragging your
Well,
feet, and
we-
then just pow, hit him. You know what
we
I'm saying?
didn't, we didn't win the World Cup, so maybe,
Yeah, well,
maybe we
that
need to
was-
work
that's
on
what
our
did it.
hacker. I don't know,
Um,
or the referee maybe.
all right. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna you send this out this time. I'm always ending the stream. You end the stream.
You want me to hit the button?
Yeah, you hit the button.
So I get to touch the red button
You touch
and the
the
blue
red
button
button.
tonight.
You have to hit the
Okay, guys.
2 red buttons. The first red button right there.
All right, that one.
Okay.
It's
that
been
one.
fun.
And then the second one.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Sunday.